All right, NFL fans, welcome back to USA Sports Bets. Can you feel that electric charge in the air? That buzz? It means we are just weeks away from the 2025 NFL regular season kicking off. And if you're like us, you're not just counting down, you're already thinking, who's going to surprise us? Who might stumble? And, where's the smart money going? Today, we're diving headfirst into those over-under win totals. It's a real battleground of prediction.
It really is. It's that time of year, isn't it, where, hope meets the cold, hard numbers. Every team starts fresh, but the analysis, those roster tweaks, the coaching changes, that paints a much clearer picture. We're going beyond just guessing today. We want to get into the why behind the consensus, give you a real breakdown of what to expect.
Okay, let's unpack this for you. We're talking about those crucial over-under win totals. For 2025, this isn't just throwing darts. It's a sophisticated mix. Analytics, team dynamics, and yeah, maybe a bit of expert gut feeling too. We've pulled together the latest insights, looking at what the experts are projecting, and really importantly, what's driving those numbers.
Yeah, and what's striking is just how many things factor in. It's way more than just star power. We're weighing everything. Those huge player trades, new coaching schemes. And something often overlooked but critical, strength of schedule. These things don't just nudge the odds. They really shape the story of a team's whole season.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Maybe a bit tough for some fans out there. Let's jump right into probably the biggest player move of the offseason, that massive trade. Powerhouse defender from Dallas to Green Bay. I mean, this single move, it's really reshaped things for both teams, right? Let's start with Dallas, the projection, under 7.5 wins. Why so low?
Well, the data for Dallas it's absolutely stark. It really shows the impact of a player like Micah Parsons. Our analysis shows when Parsons was on the field, the Cowboys' defense, in terms of expected points added per play, best in the NFL since 2021. Best.
Wow, okay.
But without him, in that same time frame, they plummeted, dead last in the league. That's not just a loss. It's like a gaping hole. Even with a great offense, their QB, their star receiver, it's going to be incredibly tough to consistently overcome that kind of defensive drop-off.
So you're saying even an offense that can light up the scoreboard might not be enough if the defense falls that far. That's brutal for Cowboys fans. But, okay, flip side, Green Bay projected over 10.5 wins. That's a big jump, directly tied to this trade.
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like a force multiplier. This Packers team, they're already young and pretty good.
Yeah?
Top 10 offense last year, scoring, 27 points a game?
Yeah, something like that.
And the defense was solid, too. Top 10 in points allowed. They had a fast receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
But getting Parsons, that's the game changer. His stats, you look at his first 4 years, he's right there with Reggie White. Only two guys ever with 12-plus sacks in each of their first 4 seasons.
Incredible.
Adding that kind of elite disruptor takes a good defense and makes it potentially dominant. It makes the Packers a really, really serious threat.
Okay, that's huge. One player really changing the ceiling for two teams. But are we maybe putting too much weight on one guy, even an elite one? Could Dallas find a way? Their offense is still loaded. And for Green Bay, does this suddenly ramp up the pressure? Now they're expected Super Bowl contenders.
That's a fair point. Dallas will score points. But history shows even elite offenses struggle if the defense just can't get stops. It puts immense pressure on them drive after drive. And for the Packers, the pressure cooker is definitely turned up. They've gone from promising young team to legit title contender. Different kind of spotlight. It just underscores how one generational talent, especially on defense, can totally alter the landscape for multiple teams, changes their whole identity.
Okay, let's shift gears. The quarterback position. Always the most talked about, right? We've got several young QBs this year who could either break out or, face some bumps. Let's start with Denver. The Broncos, experts are leaning over 9.5 wins. What's the thinking there?
Well, a lot of the optimism in Denver revolves around Bo Nix, their young QB. Expecting that sophomore leap, he already led them to a surprising 10-7 record last year as a rookie. Showed a lot of potential. Good efficiency, smart decisions.
Right, he's pretty solid.
Now, year 2, they've added pieces around him, Evan Ingram at tight end, revamped the backfield, and critically, their defense is arguably one of the best in the league. That's a huge safety net. Plus, they've got the easiest schedule in their division, the AFC West. You put all that together, it makes a strong case for another 10-win season, maybe even better.
That sounds pretty convincing for a team that definitely surprised people. But could that easy schedule kind of inflate things, make 10 wins look better than it is?
Yeah.
And then you've got the Vikings, totally a different story. New rookie QB, J.J. McCarthy. They're trending under 9.5 wins.
That's a good question on the schedule, but hey, a win's a win in the NFL, right? For Minnesota, it's different, McCarthy is seen as a real wild card. Their previous starter, Darnold, is gone, so the keys are handed over. But you have to think of this as an investment year for McCarthy. Rookies rarely light it up win-wise immediately. It's about development, getting him used to the speed of the game. That naturally kind of limits their immediate win total. It's like one step back now for maybe two big steps forward later.
Okay, that makes sense. Patience is key with young QBs, but they still have Justin Jefferson. Is under 9.5 wins really the ceiling with a weapon like that? Are we maybe too down on a rookie's potential? And speaking of turnarounds, what about the Patriots? Projected over 8.5 wins. After a rough couple of years, what's behind that expected bounce back?
You're right, Jefferson is a difference maker, but one receiver, even him, can't do it all week in, week out. For the Patriots, a lot hinges on the new coach, Mike Vrabel. He's expected to just raise the team's baseline significantly from those 4-13 seasons.
Yeah, they needed a change there.
Vrabel brings that discipline, that physicality. That should make them more competitive right away. They made some decent roster moves, too. Milton Williams on defense, Stephon Diggs on offense.
Diggs is a big get.
Huge.
Yeah.
But the real key, they need that year two jump from Drake May, their young QB, and the O-line needs to be better. Add in the fact they have the second easiest schedule in the whole league. The pieces look like they could be falling into place for a rebound in New England.
Sounds like a lot has to click for them, though. How fast can a coach like Vrabel really turn things around, especially after they've struggled? And for all these young QBs, Nix, McCarthy, Maying, how much immediate impact can they truly have? The league is so competitive. The range of outcomes for these teams, it's huge.
Makes for great storylines, though.
That really is the million-dollar question. Vrabel's teams, historically, they're sound. They limit mistakes, play hard. That's a good start. For the young QBs, it often boils down to how fast they process things, how they handle NFL defenses, the ones who grasp the playbook quickly, stay calm under pressure. They tend to do better even if the team isn't perfect around them. Okay, beyond the players and coaches, let's talk schedule. It can be a real hidden factor, right? Some teams got lucky draws, others not so much. Let's look at the 49ers, projected over 10.5 wins. Sounds like they have a smooth path.
Oh, yeah. The most striking thing for San Francisco, easiest schedule in the entire NFL, period.
Wow.
Combine that with expecting better injury luck. They got hammered last year, and their core guys on offense are still there. Purdy, Trent Williams, Kittle, McCaffrey, elite. And watch out for this. Maybe Robert Saleh returning as defensive coordinator. That would be another huge boost. So yeah, even losing a few pieces, their road to getting over 10.5 wins looks much, much smoother than most other contenders.
Easiest schedule in the league. That's a gift. But any potential traps, even with an easy schedule, like staying focused, depth issues popping up, and then the polar opposite, the New York Giants, projected way down, under 5.5 wins, facing the toughest road.
That's a fair point about focus, but for a team like the Niners, the goal is always the Super Bowl. Complacency usually isn't the issue. For the Giants, completely different world, hardest schedule in 2025. It's like a who's who of playoff teams week after week. Their start is just brutal. Back-to-back road games in the division, Commanders, then Cowboys, then home against Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yikes. That's rough.
And it doesn't let up. They have a stretch later facing Philly twice, Denver away, the Niners. Wins are going to be really, really hard to come by with that slate.
Man, that's just a nightmare schedule. What can the coaches even do? Just try to keep morale up. Sounds like they're in survival mode from week one.
Pretty much. Survival mode. Coaches will preach, playing clean, no turnovers, hope to steal a game or two, focus on health, manage the grind. But yeah, for the Giants, realistically, this season might be more about developing guys and finding building blocks than chasing wins. And speaking of brutal schedules, look at the Cleveland Browns. Another tough spot, projected under 4.5 wins. They've got the second toughest schedule.
Wow, second toughest for Cleveland, too. So even if a veteran like Joe Flacco plays, it's probably not enough lift. Is this basically a forced rebuild year for them because of the schedule?
Yeah, that's often how it plays out with schedules this hard. Flacco might snag them a win or two with his experience, sure. But the overall ceiling for the Browns this year, it just isn't very high. Some projections, honestly, have them in the mix for the #1 draft pick, so you can really see how much that schedule strength matters. For teams kind of on the edge, a tough schedule can just sink them. Every week feels like climbing a mountain, whereas an easier path, it can really boost a team, maybe let them outperform expectations, even if the roster isn't stacked. It's that hidden variable.
Okay, let's wrap this up with a couple of teams where the experts seem really split or where the projection kind of goes against the grain. First, the Indianapolis Colts. We're seeing projections all over the place. Over 7.5, some as low as the under 5.5. What's the deal there? Why so polarizing?
Yeah, the Colts are fascinating, a real clash of narratives. The argument for the over, it leans heavily on coach Shane Steichen. He has a track record, right? Getting good play out of QBs. Others wrote off. He got 9 wins with Gardner Minshew in 23, 8 wins last year despite, let's say, an ugly QB situation.
Right, he seems to work some magic there.
Plus, they have a pretty manageable schedule, an underrated defense. They could compete in their division. But the other argument, it boils down to a fundamental lack of trust in Daniel Jones as the starter. There's concern about instability there, potential for turnovers costing them games. Some analysts are pretty blunt about questioning the decision to go with Jones.
That's pretty direct. Is it really fair to pin so much just on the QB, especially with Steichen's record? What about the Cincinnati Bengals? Another interesting one. Leaning under 10.5 wins.
Yeah.
That might surprise people, given how explosive their offense can be.
It's tough, but yeah, when you make a big bet at QB, it becomes the main story for the win total. For the Bengals, you nailed it. Offense. Potentially one of the best. Chase, Higgins, they're going to score a ton of points.
Absolutely.
But the defense, that's the big question mark.
Yeah.
The reason for that, under 10.5 lean, preseason was concerning. The starting defense really struggled to get stops, like letting up points almost every drive.
Oh, wow.
So it raises that classic question, can even a high-flying offense consistently outscore major defensive problems over 17 games? It's a really tricky balance, and it might just pull their win total down a bit from where you'd think based on offense alone.
So the big takeaway here seems to be, don't just look at the flashy strengths. You got to look at the weaknesses, too.
Exactly. Where could a team get exposed?
Yeah.
How might that play out over a full season? Or, on the flip side, how can great coaching, or maybe an easier schedule, lift a team up beyond just the raw talent? It's about seeing the whole picture, all those layers, all those hidden factors that really decide things.
What a ride through these 2025 predictions. From those huge trades shaking things up to coaching impacts and just the sheer luck of the draw with the schedule. It's so clear the upcoming NFL season is going to be full of surprises, twists, and turns. We've seen how just a few key things can totally change a team's outlook before they even play a down.
Absolutely. And as you're watching the game start, think about this too. Beyond the stats, beyond the predictions, what about those intangibles? Team chemistry, locker room vibe, just pure grit. How much does that stuff actually influence the final win totals? What story will really define each team's season? Will it match what the numbers told us beforehand?
Yeah, something to chew on as you settle in for week 1. We hope this deep dive gave you a bit of a head start, helps you be that informed fan who gets the why behind it all. Keep an eye on these teams, watch how things play out, and get ready for what should be an unforgettable 2025 NFL season. We'll be right here on USA Sports Bets, breaking it all down for you.